Hey everyone, what's up? Carola here, and today we are reading How the Library, Not the Prince, Saved Rapunzel. It is written by Wendy Meddour and illustrated by Rebecca Ashdown. On the 16th floor of a tall tower block sat Rapunzel, quite idle, while screwing her locks. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called the milkman from down at the bottom stair. "The lift's not working, and the stairs are too steep, and my asthma is bad, and my heart is too weak." But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't move. She had nowhere to go. She had nothing to prove. She just looked at the sky, and she dreamed up a dream while the milkman went off in his float to sell cream. It was later that day, much warmer than most, when the postman came round to deliver the post. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called the postman from down on the bottom stair. "You've got a brown letter. It looks like a bill. Should I leave it down here on the windowsill?" But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't blink. She had nothing to say. She had nothing to think. She just looked out at the birds and started to frown. So the postman left off and went off to town. When the sun was full blaze, just after lunch, the baker came round with selling warm things to munch. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called the baker from down on the bottom stair. "I've got a bad knee. I've got no one to moan. Let me sew you some bread and a hot buttered scone." But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't flinch. She wouldn't move, not even an inch. Not a sound was uttered. Not a word was said. So the baker went back to her shop to sell bread. Now Rapunzel's aunt was the caring sort, and around 4 she brought some dinner. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down your hair," called her aunt from down on the bottom stair. "I've made a fish pie for you to eat. I've wrapped it in tinfoil to keep in the heat." But Rapunzel just sat. She didn't stir. A statue wasn't as still as her. She just watched as the rain began to fall, while her aunt dashed off to the bingo hall. Now, this story must have a prince, of course, and he showed up late, and not on a horse. With the wind in his hair and blowing his hooter, along came the prince on the back of a scooter. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, please let down the hair," called the prince from the bottom stair. He brought with him chocolates and roses red. He wore leather trousers and shades on his head. But Rapunzel just sat, as still as a wall. She didn't think much of her prince at all. She just stared and stared and stared in the rain, and the prince was never seen again. It had to be said, without lunch or dinner, Rapunzel was starting to get a bit thinner. To leave her without any milk was mean, so the milkman, on hearing Rapunzel was lean. "And I really should deliver the letter." The postman felt guilty and wished she was better. "To think," said her aunt, "that she's all alone on the 16th floor, as thin as a bone. Rapunzel has patience. She doesn't move. She has nowhere to go. She has nothing to prove. But to sit on your own all day and dream, well, that's really not good for one's self-esteem." The milkman, the aunt, and all of her friends decided to gather up and make their amends. They climbed up all the stairs, steady but sure, and all the way to the 16th floor, and burst through the door on Rapunzel's flat, who sat all alone with only her cat. They cooked her some supper, the first in weeks. It brought back the roses back to her cheeks. The postman gave her the letter to read, and what happened next you'll hardly believe. Rapunzel leaped up and shouted with glee, "I got a new job at the library." She skipped round the room. She started to groove. She had somewhere to go. She had something to prove. She went to the cupboard and brought out a spanner. Then she fixed the lift in a ladylike manner. "Thank you, dear friends," she said. "I'm all right." So they all took down the lift, and she turned out the light. The following morning, at 6 o'clock sharp, she jumped out of the bed while it was still dark. She tied up her hair in a very long plait and pinned it all under a bright purple hat. She put on a suit and a pair of smart shoes and ate a big breakfast while reading the news. Then she got on the lift and went down, 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 down to start her new job at the library in town. Everyone loved her. She sparkled all day, and life at the library continued this way. For along with her hair and her ravishing looks, she loved nothing better than reading good books. Now Rapunzel has changed, and it made her wince to think that she once sat and waited for a prince, that she used to just sit, and that she didn't move, with nowhere to go and nothing to prove. For now she reads 3 books every night, under the gleam of her bedside light. She can tell you the distance to the moon. She can do Scotch dancing and play the bassoon. She can speak 4 languages, skip and play chess. She can knit tiny A-cups and cross-stitch a dress. She knows the difference between crows and rooks, and all because of library books. So, don't just wait up